In bold industrial workshops on Gowanus' cobblestone streets sits a restaurant with a Mediterranean-style courtyard, a rooftop garden, a speakeasy bar, and tables repurposed from 1920 wood found on location. A decade ago, one would never have guessed that Bison and Bourbon was a kosher institution, but today, it's one of the latest kosher restaurants in New York City to join the bandwagon of innovation, offering its customers progressive food options coupled with a top-notch ambiance and unique cocktails made with homemade bitters.
This restaurant, the way we approach, the way it looks, the way it feels, the food that we created with the whole atmosphere, I think is creating a very unique experience for anyone. It's just turning a corner. It's the evolution of things in the kosher world.
Bison and Bourbon is one of the city's 325 kosher eateries. This number may seem like a drop in the bucket compared to the city's 24,000 eateries, but it comes close to the number of the city's French and Indian restaurants, which clock in respectively at 355 and 332, according to the city's Department of Health. Over the past 2 decades, the number of kosher restaurants in New York City increased by at least 50%, according to Ilan Kornblum, the president and publisher of Great Kosher Restaurants magazine. In 2016 alone, nearly 25 new kosher restaurants opened before the year's halfway point, keeping new restaurant openings on par with 2015's rate, except this year, the number of closures is a much smaller fraction of the number of openings. Many of the city's new kosher restaurants are trendier than the traditional kosher eatery, which favors quantity over quality. Today's new kosher restaurants include smokehouses, hibachi places, and artisan bakeries like Brooklyn Artisan Bakehouse, a new Crown Heights bakery that specializes in making homemade breads and pastries with the finest ingredients. Regardless of the reasons for the shift in the kosher food industry, one thing is clear. It's not just restaurants that are scrambling to satisfy their kosher foodie customers. It's also the cookbooks, pop-up carts, bloggers, and even supermarkets that have been modernizing. Benz's, a kosher fish store in Crown Heights, is the perfect example of this phenomena. From many years ago, the owner, Benz Raskin, noticed that there was a need to supply gourmet groceries that meet the strictest kosher standards. Since then, his store has become a haven for kosher foodies to get a hold of any gourmet ingredient that they may need, from fancy beers to gourmet herring to cheeses from around the world. For a while, it was the only place in New York where one could find kosher kimchi.
Always find new items that people have in other stores, and that's why keeps us in business. Otherwise, if we have the same thing everybody has, what they come here for?
And with the rising demand for innovation in the kosher food industry, there's no telling what sweet surprise the future has in store.